I'm Dana, and it's time for this week's question, and it comes from Sherry, and she has a question about her siblings sharing a room. I have a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old that share a bedroom. Each night somebody is up crying and waking up the other one, and by the end of the night somebody is always sleeping in my bed. How can I get them to share a room and we can all get a good night's sleep? I picked this question because as I was reading through them today, I noticed that there were many questions involving other children. If you've got a toddler and a baby, how do you work with the baby and you're afraid you're going to wake up your toddler, or vice versa? If you have twins, same sort of situation. So I thought this needed a little bit of attention because it's such a popular question. And, I wish there was some way, we could turn off the hearing of one child and do the program with one and then turn it back on and everything would be great. But that's just not the reality. The good news is if you have a older child that sleeps well, most children are usually quite deep sleepers. They'll often at least miss 1 or 2 of the wake-ups and not have heard anything. However, if there's a session that's lasting any length of time, it's pretty hard to hide from a crying child. So it might happen, and I think what you just need to do is tell yourself it's going to happen. Somewhere in this week, one child's going to wake up the other child. Now they're both going to be awake. Maybe they're both going to be crying, and it's not going to be a lot of fun. But this is the hill that you have to climb in order to get to the other side. So the only way you're going to get to the other side where everybody sleeps well and through the night and there's no wake-ups is to do this, which means it's going to happen. So if you can just, sometimes all it takes is just preparing your mind for something. A lot of the parents I work with, that they say I've got my mind frame right, I'm really motivated, they're feeling a bit excited about it all, and they're ready to go. Whereas, 3 months earlier, that they were not ready to go at all. And so just getting your mind around the idea is half the battle, okay? So it's going to happen. And what I would suggest, I don't know a lot about the situation as far as what happens when these children are going to sleep. I'm wondering what it is they want in the night. It sounds basically like they want to just come to bed with mom and dad. And so I would just do, because of their age, you can do a reward chart. You can say, if you both sleep through the night until your clock says 7, at 7 you can have a sticker or a treat, a little toy of some kind, something that's rewarding enough that they might actually think about it. Set the intention, so when you tuck them both in, you can incorporate it into the routine that what you want from them is for them both to go to sleep in their own bed and to have a good night's sleep and not to wake up crying and not to come to your bed. And then if they do come to your bed, you're going to have to give them one warning. So that's your warning: please don't come back to my bed. Return them to their room, and then there will have to be a consequence for coming out. If the 3-year-old comes out a second time, a suggestion of a consequence might be to remove a favorite stuffed animal or a blankie for 2 minutes. Just to set the stage that you do mean business. He's not allowed to come to your room anymore. And you don't have to do that for the entire night. All it usually takes is 1 or 2 minutes of just removing the object, taking it with you, and the child thinking, oof, I really don't like when she does that. I'm going to stay in my bed now so that doesn't happen again. Again, it's going to be a rocky few days as you get this going, and yes, one might wake up the other, but you can give some positive reinforcement to the child who's staying in the bed. Thank you for staying in your bed. I know your brother is waking you up, but we're going to be okay and we're going to get through this. So I hope that helps. I know it's not the easiest, and it is a challenge when you have children sharing a room, but it's definitely not impossible, and it's something you should tackle so that, again, you can get to that other side where they're both going to bed and sleeping well. Okay, so good luck and sleep well.